The 2028 Olympics is going to be in LA, and this is how you're going to get ready. And if you're wondering why do I need to get ready 5 years in advance, it's because the best athletes in the world are going to be competing in one of the most expensive cities in the United States. So yeah, time to get ready. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is BME Queen, and today I'm going to tell you guys how you can get ready for the 2028 Olympics in LA. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to get tickets for the Olympics, how to get a hotel, how to get the best price for a flight, and also how to plan your schedule for a day at the Olympics. First thing to be aware of when you're trying to find tickets for the Olympics is that the promotion for the Olympic Games starts at the previous Olympics. The next Summer Games will be in 2024 in Paris, and this is the time where they're going to start promoting the 2028 Olympics, which will be in LA. So if you're already watching the Olympics during this time, that is great because you'll start to see all the promotions, and they'll also start to see promotions on social media as well. To get tickets to the following Olympics, you have to sign up for the emails for that website. Every Olympic Games has a specific website that is hosted by the host country. As an example, the Paris Olympics that is going to be in 2024 has their own website that was created by the French, and that's where they are currently selling tickets for the 2024 games. You can expect to see a different website that is not Ticketmaster, but it will be a separate website that is made by the US for them to sell tickets for the Olympic Games. There is a lottery system that becomes available in the spring before the Olympics happens. So for the 2024 Paris Olympics, that website became available in the spring of 2023. So that was just earlier this year, and that was when people were entered into a lottery system to be able to buy tickets. Now, of course, everyone is not going to have access to this lottery. It is a lottery, so it's a game of chance. But if you don't get access to the lottery, again, if you sign up for the emails for that website, then you'll have all the information of when the tickets are available for you to purchase outside of the lottery. The ticket prices will vary depending on the popularity of the sport, the level that you're watching, so if it's going to be a qualifier versus a semifinals or a final, and then it'll also range depending on where you sit in the stadium. As an example, sports like water polo won't be as highly priced as a sport like men's basketball. To give you an example of the price range, tickets for 2024 Paris Olympics that are on sale right now, so tickets range from 20 euros to about 2,700 euros per ticket per match. Again, you have to purchase all of the match tickets separately. There are some bundle options, although I personally don't see the value in some of those because they don't give you everything that you want. We'll talk about it later on when we talk about hotels. But my best advice would be to figure out what sports you want to see in person and then what type of game you want to go to. If you want to see a specific sport, keep in mind that the price range is going to be a little bit different. The most expensive tickets for the Olympic Games will be the opening ceremony. Because the games are hosted in different countries, sometimes the opening ceremony policies are a little bit different every single games. As an example, the Olympic Games in Paris in 2024, so the opening ceremony will be outside. So although they are selling tickets, there are ways that you can go to the event for free because it is an outdoor event. However, if you do buy an opening ceremony ticket, you have front row right off the CN to see the opening ceremony where all the athletes will be cruising down the river. It's a very unique experience to be able to attend the opening ceremony, but because of that, it is going to be the most expensive ticket to purchase. The second most expensive ticket to purchase will be the closing ceremony. So this is after the 2 weeks of the games. You'll be able to see all the athletes and see them home. Again, it's a very special moment of the Olympic Games, so if you want to go to that, keep in mind that it'll be 2 weeks from the opening ceremony, and it's also going to be the second most expensive tickets to purchase. Like I said, there are some bundle options that are available. I've seen bundles that have a variety of games, so as an example, tennis, women's basketball, and water polo, but a lot of those bundles don't allow you to mix and match. Sometimes it depends on where the country is hosting and then who's also selling the tickets, so that will be determined much later on, so a few years from now. But just to get an idea of how much much money you should be saving for the games. One, you should think of the number of games that you want to attend, and then you should think of how close you want to sit or where you want to be. So considering that the cheapest price for the Paris Olympic tickets was 20 euros, my guess would be that if you were going to a game in the US 5 years from now, that the starting prices would be around $80 to $100 per ticket for a nosebleed ticket at a fairly unpopular sport. Next, we're going to talk about flights. Heading to the Olympic Games is going to be absolutely insane because everyone in the world is trying to get to one city at the same time. Because of this and because of the popularity of the Olympic Games, it is very unlikely that there will be any type of flight deals, and it is also very likely that the flight prices will be super high because of the Olympic Games. So with that being said, I would recommend that you leverage credit card points so that you can save some money by using those credit card points to then book your flights. The travel credit card that I'm using to save for points and to also get more flights is the BILT card. They have a lot of deals on flights, but they also allow you to book a variety of flights, both international and domestic, using their points. Because it is 5 years in advance, you have that much time to rack up points. Beauty about this card is that you can pay your rent using this card and you can save those points for future purchases. In general, the more points you have, the better. You can often transfer these points to another point system that is hosted by an airline. When I flew from LA to Paris a few months ago, I used the BILT points and I transferred them to KLM. The KLM points I then used to purchase my flight on Air France. So they have a lot of deals going on where you can transfer those points to an airline's point system, and then you can use that to then purchase a flight. Because the flight prices are going to be super expensive, I would recommend that you use your BILT card to rack up points for the next few years, so that way you can use that towards a flight purchase. If you want free BILT points, I do have a link below in the description box that will give you free points to sign up for the BILT card that you can use towards flights, but also towards exercise classes, towards your rent, towards gift cards in the future. With booking hotels, it's going to be the same exact thing, where a lot of hotel prices are going to be super expensive because you're hosting the Olympic Games. I don't anticipate there will be any deals for hotel prices during this time, but similar to getting deals with flights through credit card points, I would use a different credit card to rack up points so that I can use that towards scheduling and reserving a hotel during the Olympics. The card that I use is the Hilton Honors card. I use this to book hotels domestically, so anywhere in the country I can find a Hilton Honors affiliated hotel and use the points that I've racked up on that card to then stay for free in different hotels. So this is a great way for you to figure out how to spend responsibly on the card and also save those points for future purchases, which would then be staying in a hotel during the Olympics for a much cheaper rate than paying up front. The Hilton Honors card also allows you to get free car rental insurance when you do use this card to book your car rentals. And this leads me into the next topic, which we're going to talk about, which is transportation. Public transportation in LA is not the best, and because of that, the city of LA is restructuring the airport and all the public transportation systems. Although I don't know what it's going to look like in the future 5 years from now, I do know that if you are trying to take public transportation all over the city, you're going to be standing for long periods of time and you're going to be walking for long distances. So I would definitely recommend that you start getting on your Zoom and working out now so that walking around during the Olympics doesn't cause you any pain or any discomfort, because it is a really unique and special time to be in the city. If you want to get around without using public transportation, renting a car is another option. Again, I would anticipate this to be very pricey, considering everyone's going to be in LA at the same time trying to attend the Olympic Games. Renting a car, however, may be useful because the venues for all of the matches are going to be spread all over the city. In 1984, the Olympic Games was hosted in LA, and at the time there were only 21 Olympic sports. However, there were games hosted all over the city. Just to give you an example, I have a list on my phone. So archery was hosted in Long Beach, whereas basketball was hosted in Inglewood. Canoeing and rowing was in Ventura County, but volleyball, fencing, sailing was also in Long Beach. Water polo was in Malibu. Football or soccer was in Pasadena. All of those locations are all over the city, and even without the Olympic Games, traffic in LA is absolutely insane. My recommendation is that if you get a rental car, one, know that you're going to be sitting in traffic for long periods of time. Try to use the public transportation that the city is working on for the next 5 years to make sure people can get around the city. I would also expect that there are going to be more surrounding cities around LA that are going to be hosting Olympic Games, and this is because in 1984 there was only 21 Olympic sports, whereas now there are 40 Olympic sports that are going to be competing during this 2-week time span. I would anticipate that even more locations are going to be hosting more matches over that 2.5 time period. With that being said, I would also recommend that you be very strategic on how you plan your day and the events that you are attending. When you finally get Olympics tickets, it is very, very critical that you plan accordingly, because all of the events are occurring all over the city. As an example, for the Paris Olympics in 2024, beach volleyball is occurring in Marseille, whereas tennis is being hosted in Paris, and other sports are going to be hosted in Versailles. Those locations are pretty far from each other. Marseille is a 12-hour bus ride, or a 3-hour train ride, or an 1.5-hour flight. If you were to plan going to a beach volleyball event and then going to the tennis event, it's likely not going to happen within the same day. Similarly, LA Olympics are going to be hosted in a variety of neighborhoods all over the city and even around the city, so it's critical that you plan accordingly. I will only plan to do one event per day, or if you're going to do multiple events per day, do it in the same venue or in the same neighborhood. So if you're going to Long Beach, try to go to Long Beach events that day or within the next few days, so that you don't have to get across the city, which takes a very, very long time in LA traffic and will probably take even more time in LA Olympics traffic. Also, this is a really good idea if you live in LA and you're trying to figure out how you're going to go about your daily routine while the Olympics is going on. I would suggest that you try to plan accordingly, so that you don't have to run into all of the traffic and all the busyness that's going to be occurring in the city. If you guys like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and if you have more Olympics questions, drop them in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.